confirmed number of new coronavirus cases reported in Los Angeles County over the last 24 hours is 43,582, with 13 additional deaths. Here in Torrance, 350 additional cases were reported, with one new death. Welcome to COVID-19 Today. I'm Rhiannon Trutanich. It's Tuesday, January 11th. LA County hit another grim milestone this week, more than 2 million total COVID-19 cases. The current surge is also driving up hospitalizations. Nationally, we're at an all-time high since the start of the pandemic, with about 146,000 people as of Tuesday. In LA County, there are more than 3,400 people hospitalized from the virus, the highest level since February 11th of 2021. Public health officials say many of these patients are admitted for reasons unrelated to COVID-19, but end up testing positive for the virus. About 55% of patients fell into this category for the week ending on December 26th. 23% of ICU beds across LA County are currently occupied by COVID-positive cases, up 9% from last week. Recent data shows unvaccinated people are 21 times more likely than fully vaccinated people to end up in the ICU with the virus. Hospitalizations for children under 18 remain at 4.1%, with the vast majority of them being unvaccinated. The 0 to 4-year-olds saw the biggest spike, from 4 to 58 admissions in less than a month. A new program in LA County allows residents to pick up a free COVID-19 testing kit. The county's Department of Health Services hopes this will help those who have symptoms or believe they have been exposed to someone with COVID-19. It is not for those who need to test as a requirement for returning to school, work, or to participate in other activities. Individuals can pick up the PCR test, complete it at home, and return the completed kit to designated locations for processing. They'll be notified of their test results within 24 to 48 hours. This new program will operate at 13 testing sites across LA County. It's available without an appointment and while supplies last. It tests for both COVID-19 and the flu, the same as all LA County operated testing locations. Go to this link below to get more information and to find out where you can pick up a testing kit. The Red Cross declared its first ever national blood crisis in the U.S. The organization has less than a one-day supply of critical blood types and has to limit distributions to hospitals. Officials say doctors are forced to make difficult decisions about which patients receive blood transfusions over others. At times, as much as 1/4 of hospital blood needs are not being met. The COVID-19 pandemic led to a 10% overall decline in the number of people donating blood, in addition to ongoing blood drive cancellations and staffing limitations. Colleges and other schools saw a 62% drop in blood drives during this time. Donors of all blood types, especially type O, are urged to make an appointment now to help prevent further delays in vital medical treatments. As an added incentive, the Red Cross is teaming up with the NFL this month, which happens to be National Blood Donor Month. Donors who give blood, platelet, or plasma will be automatically entered to win 2 tickets to Super Bowl 56 at SoFi Stadium, plus a $500 gift card. Those who give this month will also automatically be entered to win the Big Game at Home package to enjoy a lavish viewing experience at home. Go to redcrossblood.org to donate. Speaking of a critical shortage, about 1/4 of all U.S. hospitals are struggling with a lack of staff. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services says the current COVID-19 surge, fueled by the Omicron variant, has 1,200 out of 5,000 hospitals currently experiencing the worst staffing shortage since the pandemic began. And another 100 hospitals anticipate they'll get there too within the next week. As a result, some hospitals are cutting elective surgeries and others are having to triage their patients, meaning letting some people die who they may have been able to help under different circumstances. Virginia declared a limited state of emergency on Monday after the number of ICU hospitalizations more than doubled since December 1st. The order allows hospitals to expand bed capacity and gives more flexibility with staffing. In Texas, at least 2,700 medical workers are being hired, trained, and deployed to assist with the surge, joining more than 1,300 people already sent across the state. And Kentucky mobilized the National Guard to provide support with 445 members sent to 30 healthcare facilities. California hospitals have also called in the National Guard to help with its ongoing staffing crisis. Over-the-counter, at-home COVID-19 tests will be free to people with private health coverage starting Saturday. The Biden-Harris administration is requiring insurance companies and group health plans to cover the costs. That means most people with insurance can go online or to a store, buy a test, and either get it paid for upfront or get reimbursed for it. Starting January 15th, insurance companies must provide 8 free tests per individual per month. There is no limit on the number of tests if ordered or administered by a healthcare provider following an individualized clinical assessment, including for those who may need them due to underlying medical conditions. Officials say this is all part of their overall strategy to ramp up access to easy-to-use at-home tests at no cost. For more information, go to cms.gov and search free COVID test. Pfizer will have a new vaccine targeting the Omicron variant in March. The company's CEO, Albert Bourla, says they already began manufacturing the doses, and the vaccine should also target other variants that are circulating. He adds that it's still not clear whether or not an Omicron vaccine is needed or how it would be used, but Pfizer will have some doses available since some countries want it as soon as possible. He hopes they will be able to offer better protection against infections. Real-world data from the United Kingdom shows Pfizer and Moderna's vaccines to be only about 10% effective at preventing symptomatic infection from the Omicron variant 20 weeks after the second dose. But they still provided good protection against severe illness. The study showed 75% efficacy against severe illness. Bourla says Pfizer will also conduct experiments to determine if a second booster may be necessary. Israel made the 4th dose available to select groups of high-risk people in recent weeks after learning that it offers stronger protection. Meanwhile, Moderna continues to work on its booster targeting Omicron. It's expected to enter clinical trials soon and should be available this fall. California Governor Gavin Newsom wants to bring back supplemental paid sick leave policies to better protect our frontline workers during the current COVID-19 surge. It's part of his $2.7 billion coronavirus response package proposal that, if passed, would be the biggest package of its kind in the nation. California previously had a COVID-19 supplemental paid sick leave law, but it expired at the end of last September. That law required all employers with 26 or more employees to provide 80 hours of paid COVID-19 sick leave. It's not clear at this time whether the new sick leave policies would look similar to the older one. The California Labor Federation has been calling for the legislature to reinstate the paid leave. Governor Newsom's proposed package also includes $1.2 billion to strengthen testing capacities, $583 million to get more Californians vaccinated and boosted, and $614 million to support frontline workers and healthcare systems. Be aware of illegal pop-up COVID-19 testing sites that you may see on street corners and parking lots. Health and legal experts say many unregulated activities are taking place across the country in an attempt to steal people's identities. In Chicago, unsanitary sites were reported where workers did not wear masks or gloves. Some who visited said they never got their results, and others got their results after a long delay. And in Philadelphia, more than 4,000 people took COVID tests at tents throughout busy parts of the city that were run by an organization that falsely identified itself as partnering with the Federal Emergency Management Agency. Some of those sites may have taken Social Security numbers. Officials say in recent weeks, numerous unapproved sites have tricked people into paying for tests when they should be free, or for requiring personal information when registering for tests. Since the pandemic began, the Federal Trade Commission got more than 650,000 reports of COVID-related fraud, identity theft, and other scams, which costs Americans more than $636 million. To find a legitimate testing location here in LA County, go to covid19.lacounty.gov/testing. Some musical acts on the road are using a unique tool to keep both themselves and their fans safe. They're working with COVID sniffing dogs to ensure that the coronavirus does not shut down their concerts. Specially trained German Shepherds, Belgian Malinois, and even a Labrador Retriever go on tour with big names such as Eric Church and Metallica to sniff for traces of the virus in members of their crew, entourage, or anyone else who gets backstage. The canines go through 6 weeks of training where they are taught to sniff people's hands and feet and sit down if they detect the virus. Church's manager, Malcolm Weldon, says the dogs sniffed everyone at a loading dock and had a couple of local workers get tested, and they were COVID positive. The dogs are adapting to the Omicron variant by smelling people's masks instead of hands or feet because their trainer says the new variation is different and localizes in the bronchial passageways. A dozen dogs are currently in service and 7 or 8 more are in training by an Ohio-based company called Biodetection Canine. NASCAR was the first to use these canines, and a number of other musicians are planning to have them join the road tour in the coming weeks. Torrance City Council members head back inside the chambers tonight to conduct city business for the first time in 2022. Among the agenda items to be discussed is a recommendation of the city manager to receive the COVID-19 recovery update and determine whatever action is deemed appropriate for responding to orders from LA County and the state regarding the virus. The Public Works Director will also recommend City Council to make decisions supporting an improvement project at the Anza, Vista, Montana, and Pacific Coast Highway intersections. And the Community Development Director will recommend that council members conduct a public hearing and adopt a resolution ordering the vacation of a portion of 242nd Street west of Hawthorne Boulevard. Well, the council chamber will be closed to the public in the interest of maintaining appropriate social distancing and helping to reduce the risk of spreading COVID-19. The public can participate before the meeting tonight by emailing council meeting public comment at torranceca.gov or by calling in during the meeting. You can watch the meeting live on our website, YouTube, Facebook, and of course right here on City Cable beginning at 6:30 p.m. Well, before we go, at the end of each program, we like to share feel-good stories from our community, pictures, images, and videos that remind us of how resilient our community is and how Torrance truly cares. The Attic Teen Center is holding a book drive, and community members are asked to donate gently used books for high school students to enjoy. The facility has a library of books that Torrance teens can enjoy on-site or at home. They hope to have a steady flow of books available to their members with the help of neighbors like you. You can drop off your book donations at the Attic Teen Center located at 2320 West Carson Street from 3 to 9 p.m. Mondays through Fridays. For more information, you can call 310-782-8828. The Attic is a place for high school students to get away from their everyday routines and is committed to their voice and needs. The center is a drop-in program for 14 to 18-year-old high school students in the city of Torrance. What a thoughtful way to show how Torrance truly cares. Now, if you have a great story, an upcoming event, a photo or video you'd like to share, email us at covid19today@torranceca.gov. We'd love to hear from you. Well, that's our update for COVID-19 today. We'll see you back here tomorrow as Christine Lee brings you the latest. Be safe, stay healthy, and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.